All right, well, it's the first week of September. I'm very excited about making this video. I'm standing here in the tree nursery, as you can see, and it is time. I am now ready to begin taking pre-orders for bare root trees. Basically, if you're seeing this video, I am taking pre-orders as of right now. You know, I'm recording a few days in advance of actually updating all the inventory on the website, but by the time you see this video, it's all going to be live. You can put pre-orders in at Livingsoiltreefarm.com. I'll have the link to that somewhere down below that you can click on if you're interested in purchasing some trees from us. It goes a long way in helping support us to continue making the YouTube videos, continue growing trees, planting out trees, all that sort of stuff. This is the main way that I financially support myself at this point in time. This is still a relatively young operation. I'm still, relatively new at this, but right now I'm definitely feeling very grateful and blessed to be able to explore this as a, way to support myself, just growing lovely plants and getting them out there into the world for folks. Let me flip the camera around and show you some of the trees we've got and talk a little bit about how this all works. So we expanded a lot this year compared to the past few years. So we've got tons of wonderful trees on offer here in the nursery. The way that this is going to work is that the trees are still, they have green leaves, they're still actively growing. We are approaching into fall. Some of the trees, like the black walnuts, are starting to go dormant a little bit earlier than others, but for the most part, most trees in the nursery are still very awake. And so basically what I've done is I've taken a pre-count. It's a little bit difficult to count exactly how many trees are here while they're still growing. A bed of taller trees, like these black walnuts in here, might be somewhat easier to count, but compare that to this bed that is very densely populated and full of hazelnuts, or this bed of persimmons and pecans. It's very difficult to get an accurate count of what's going on. So I have a rough number of my total inventory for all of these trees. And so the inventory that's on the website now is not reflecting what I believe the total inventory to be, but rather a small percentage of the total inventory to account for error. And then I can adjust that in the future once the trees lose their leaves and I can get a more accurate count. And so it is a true pre-order of the trees. You are paying now for trees that I know that I have. You'll be the first to receive them. It's basically reserving your trees. They'll be shipped out October, November, whenever they lose their leaves and are able to be shipped. And then at that time in October, November, when I'm pulling trees out of the bed to ship those initial orders, I can get an exact count of what's left and increase the inventory on the website. So if you're watching this video and you go to check the website out and something that you're interested in is sold out, don't panic. That might not mean that we're totally sold out for the season. It might be that we're going to, make an update in the coming weeks or months, depending on what time of year you're watching this video. Now, whenever I make big changes to the website inventory, I do tend to make videos and post them on, all the social medias, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm thinking about making a Twitter, all that sort of stuff. But if you really want to get the most up-to-date news, if you really want to stay tuned in to, I just added one or two things to the website. I don't always make a video for smaller inventory changes. But what I do is anytime there's any new thing going on to the website, I send out a newsletter. So if you really want to be the first to know when new inventory goes live, Livingsoiltreefarm.com, subscribe to the newsletter through the website, and that is the best way to stay up to date. I have several different selections of pawpaw available this year. I've got some 2-year-old plants. I've got some 1-year-old plants. This happens to be 2-year-old that we're looking at here. These come from cultivar quality mother trees grown out in an orchard. They're seedlings. Each one will be unique. I also have seedlings from wild trees to be more of a representative of the wild populations that currently exist right now. These here are more cultivar seedlings from cultivars. These happen to be 1-year-old trees in here. You can get a rough idea of the size. I've also got some smaller pawpaws. You can see if I flip over here, these are first year smaller trees. These will go for a discounted rate. I'll give you a better idea over here where I can actually reach in without getting hardware cloth in my face. So these are slightly smaller. Some of these I might actually grow out for another season, but some of the smaller ones in this bed, this guy right here, this will be a good enough size to distribute this year. So all sorts of different sizes and selections of pawpaws. I've got a few different pecan selections going on. That's what this is here. Oh my gosh. Got chicken wire going crazy. I've got a lot of different persimmons as well. I'm very excited to be offering American persimmon from several different seed selections. These are from cultivar mother trees growing at the John Hershey Nursery. These are roughly 2 feet tall. Some of them are taller, some of them are shorter. I've got some more persimmons down here in this bed. These come from the Farrellwood breeders mix. I've also got American persimmon from wild seed stock. I've got some really nice bur oaks back in here. I have various selections of walnut. I've got butternut, Japanese walnut, black walnut. In the black walnut department, I've got black walnut from Wild Sources, from the John Hershey Nursery, and several other breeding locations. Breeding orchards, I should say. Got some redbud here. I've also got dogwood, flowering dogwood. These are all going to be bare root. I've got several different selections of chestnut, including American chestnut and hybrid chestnut. I've also got several different selections of hazelnuts. There's some hybrid hazelnuts as well as some native hazelnuts. There are some things I have not decided yet. I'll probably wait until I start pulling trees out of the bed to decide. Example being, these are all beach plums. These beach plums are on the smaller side this year. I think ideally they would have another season to grow out. But, you know, maybe I'll decide to distribute some of these at a discounted rate due to their size. I'm not sure. You guys will find that out on the website sooner or later. It's a similar story with all of my Juneberry seedlings this year. I have a good amount of Juneberry seedlings, but they are on the smaller side, and I'm just not sure if I feel ready to distribute them or if I'd rather grow them out another season. So things like that, I'll probably give it until October when it's time to really pull the trees out of the bed and I can kind of pull them out, inspect the root systems, and make a judgment call then. So that's kind of what I mean. The inventory is going to continue to be updated throughout the fall. Again, I'll be sending out newsletter updates with all of those changes as they come. If you have any questions, if there's certain things you're looking for, feel free to email me, reach out. Anyway, I definitely do not have time to go over every single tree that I'm offering in this video, but it's all detailed on the website with descriptions of all the varieties. These are some really nice black walnuts from, wild trees here. Like I mentioned, I've also got black walnut from cultivar, quality mother trees. Here's some American persimmons. These are some really large American persimmons. I've got a whole bunch of different sizes, all priced accordingly. More black walnuts here. As you can see, we've really got a lot of black walnuts this year. More American persimmons. If you've seen any of the other videos in the nursery, you've seen these beds before, you've seen these trees. You can check out all summer long and watch them go basically from seed to where they are now in my previous videos if you're interested. You can check out the nursery now if you're interested. Like I said, it's all live at the time that you're watching this video. Sales are live. All of the trees, all of the seeds generally can ship to the lower 48 states. There's a few exceptions, chestnuts and a few other things I can't ship everywhere. But for the most part, all of these trees and seeds can go to any of the lower 48. And it's nothing personal if I can't ship to your state. Like chestnuts, as I mentioned, there's just for certain restrictions as a nursery that I'm not allowed to send certain species to certain locations because of quarantines that are going on. And I'll just say this, if you've been following the nursery for a while, you know this, but for anyone who may be coming in who's new, all these trees are grown without any synthetic fertilizers, any pesticides, biocides, herbicides of any sort. My inputs are native soil, leaf compost, any compost I make with my kitchen scraps, wood chips, that's reclaimed lumber. I try to use minimal plastic. I do have to use a lot of this hardware cloth, metal, and chicken wire, and that to, keep the seedlings protected from the rodents and stuff. But other than that, this is as much as I can local input, no fertilizers, no biocides, and that's relatively rare in the nursery industry. I know there's more and more people starting to do things that way. I think that's the way that we ought to be going as a society. I don't want to make it seem like I'm the only one out there doing that. There's a lot of other really great small nurseries out there you guys should check out and support who are growing trees in very similar ways to me. I'm going to wrap this video up, but maybe that's a good topic for another video, is what other nurseries would I recommend supporting. I think that's something that is worth talking about. For local pickup customers locally around here, I do have a good amount of potted trees left as well. This will be detailed on the website. If you're interested in coming to pick up potted trees, I can deliver within a radius of, the nursery here in Bassett, Virginia. Sometimes I'm down near Durham. I'm sometimes up near Blacksburg. So I can deliver trees in that little radius, potted trees if you're interested. I can deliver bare root trees too if you're in that radius, since if you would prefer that over shipping. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go turn on the hose and get these trees watered and get on with some other chores this afternoon. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in, whether you're buying trees or not. I really just appreciate you guys checking out the videos and commenting along your experiences and just taking part in the journey with me. And like I said, if you're able to buy trees, it goes a long way in supporting me. If you are itching for some other nurseries to support before I make that video, I'll just say I've been pretty heavily positively influenced by Buzz Fervor, Perfect Circle Farm, Akiva Silver, Twisted Tree Farm, Sean over at Edible Acres. Those are all kind of in the northeast area of the country. If you're down in the southeast like I am, some other local options would be Farrellwood Nursery in Western North Carolina is another great place to check out. Those are just a few off the top of my head that have been really big positive influences in my journey. And like I said, I think we should make a dedicated video chiming in and trying to name other nurseries that are worth supporting. That's by no means a comprehensive list. Another good one in the northeast is Black Creek Farm and Nursery. And I'm sure, the names are just going to keep coming to me. As soon as I cut this camera off, there's just going to be more and more names coming up. So I'm gonna cut the video here. Like I said, we'll try to talk about in a more dedicated fashion that in a future video. Thanks for checking in. I hope you're having a good time wherever and whenever you're watching this from. And I'll see you soon.